I bought another video game related time-telling device. In the year of 2025, Nintendo surprised its fan base with a new gaming piece of merchandise for their wide fan base. Mario fans, Zelda fanatics, Nintendo fans all across the world would be able to enjoy and get practical use out of their new gaming venture, the Nintendo Alarmo. Now, do I really think that this device is something that any Nintendo fan could get behind of and feel good about paying $100 for? No. When it was first announced, it perplexed me, I could see the idea of having some more Nintendo merchandise if you're a huge fan of their IPs, but I find it to be a counterintuitive idea in which, people might get sick of their favorite video game noises or music if it's used to wake them up every single day. I have already ventured into the time-telling video game world and found much disappointment in it. The last one I got was dysfunctional. It felt cheap for what I paid for, and it took way too long from their customer service to fix. You can watch that right here. But this device was a little different in some ways. It was a direct clock, not a watch, so I thought it would have more durability and stability in time-telling capability, not having the risk of being slammed into something or broken in some way like a watch would. Another factor different from the Starfield watch was this was its very own product, It wasn't a pre-order item that you have to risk just buying for the support of a game you thought you would love. I'm so angry about that. No, this is just a clock that Nintendo designed for their fans, I guess. I don't see who else it would be for. But all of these factors led me to think, not very hard, and decide to drive to Best Buy and purchase for myself my very own Nintendo Alarmo. Now, some things I want to preface going into this video, as it's a little different from the Starfield watch. For that video, I had already bought and used the watch, as well as consumed a good amount of Starfield to make a decision on how I feel about it. With this video, I want to find out how I feel about it during the process of making the video. Already, I'm a pretty big Nintendo fan. I even caved and bought a Switch 2, which I'm not even using it to play like Nintendo games. I really have this One Piece game that I'm just like grinding through. On top of that, I'm going to directly compare this alarm clock with a much more modern tool for waking myself up that I actually use every morning. So at the end, I want to give a real deep opinion on what this product is compared to a more modern usage and a counterpart. Now, with all that being said, I guess it's time to go to bed. Now, this first night, I'm going to be using my normal alarm. Control test, Amazon Alexa waking me up with the alarm, so I have to get ready for work. Usual night for me, nothing too crazy. Well, I will see you all in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. I have some splendid news to share. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone
Alexa,
is now available on
Alexa, stop. As you can see, Alexa is very intuitive and an easy-to-use device. The use of the alarm clock feature, it almost feels primitive to everything she can do. She can play music. She can have a built-in camera that you can bring in from your house, and you can check where you are. You can, even if you want, you can use ChatGPT to have a conversation with and melt your brain and flood into the cogs of the machine. If you can tell, I don't like AI very much. The real question is that we're asking right now is, how is this as an alarm clock? How is she? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's an alarm clock. I don't know what you guys are expecting me to say, all right? I'm reviewing an alarm clock and its functions. It's not going to be the most mind-boggling thing on the planet. But, you see, maybe that's the whole point, See, Alexa can just set alarm whenever I ask or whatever time I need. I don't need to touch or to be able to do anything like that. I don't need to walk over to Alexa at all. I can just ask her to do it, and she'll do it. This makes the event of setting an alarm at night and turning the alarm off in the morning super easy and comfortable, even being able to do it from the comfort of my bed. But there's a level of that I'm so comfortable in my morning in my bed that, yes, Alexa does wake me up, but I think this simple aspect of getting up to turn off the clock or even rolling over to be able to press the clock out of your bed, I think that is also something that honestly helps with getting up in the morning. And I think the ease that Alexa lets me have of just turning my alarm off by saying, just going, Alexa, turn my alarm off. And then me being able to cozily stay laying back in bed and almost drift back to sleep, that's kind of the detriment to the ease of access that Alexa allows me. But at the same time, a very well-used item. I use this thing a lot every single day. It is my alarm, and it is how I get up to be able to make sure I get to my job on time. As an overall alarm clock, gets an 8 out of 10. There's an extra point there because I get to listen to James Taylor while I work because of her. So, yeah, Alexa, thank you.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with that right now.
Alexa, thank you.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with that right now.
Okay, you know what? 7 out of 10. It has been a week since I unboxed and slept night after night with the soft glow of the Nintendo Alarmo next to me. A week, you say? Scrapple, didn't you say that you were going to sleep for one night and then review the product at hand? Why has it taken so long? Well, yes, I did. But having slept through and experienced the Alarmo for one night, I deemed a single night unjust as a true test for this unique device. I had already spent many a day with my Alexa as an alarm clock, which made me realize I must prolong the test and give myself more time to get acclimated to the Alarmo and what its full capabilities are. With that being said, it has been a week. I have a lot to say about this little device. Starting off with some of my perceived problems going into the trial, an initial worry I had for the Alarmo when using it was this concept of getting sick of the music. I wanted to somewhat try and combat this, and my way of doing this was every night or two I would change the sound settings on my Alarmo from, let's say, Mario to Zelda sounds. Look at him move around. Something that helped in this way as well was that it wasn't really music playing in the morning. Yes, music was a part of what was in the background sounds, but it was also an amalgamation of Nintendo sounds from the game it was themed after. If it was themed after Breath of the Wild that morning, it would be dramatic battle music that would build in intensity and react to me rolling around in bed. It would make noises as if I were fighting the bokoblins, making noises from the clock and defeating them. It was pretty fun. I should probably mention that this thing watches you sleep. That's not exactly what it's doing. Like, it's not filming you sleep in the way that it isn't really watching you sleep, but it does have a motion sensor in it. So it can sense motion in front of it, and in that way, it does watch you sleep. Even so, why? Like, why does it do that? Nintendo wanted to make the act of waking up focus on getting you out of bed, if that makes sense. You aren't just laying in bed with an alarm next to you that can press a button on it easily. Yeah, you can do that and disarm it. But this thing makes sure you get up and out of your bed before finally turning off the alarm. And that's not exaggerating, okay? You can't just move around and trick it into thinking you got out of bed. When the alarm starts and the enemies are attacking you in the morning, yes, your movements fight off the bokoblins, but your entire body must physically get out of the bed or out of the view of the motion sensor for it to play congratulatory music for standing up. This part I actually like. Not the getting up out of bed part, but as a big dork like myself, I enjoy the positive feeling of getting up in the morning and celebrating the day ahead, and Nintendo sounds are great at that. Whether it's the celebration of collecting a Power Moon from Super Mario Odyssey or whatever the fuck those pikmin noises are, it makes the negative groggy feeling I have from getting out of bed somewhat disappear, you know? Can you just use the Alarmo as a normal alarm clock and turn it off using the big colorful button on top of it? I mean, yeah, you can. It has that function if there is more than one person or like a pet or something in the bed too. It has the normal alarm clock setting, but like, I find that to defeat the entire purpose of having this alarm. I want to burp. Yeah, the Nintendo sounds are nice, but you could probably just buy those noises and have them play on as an alarm clock on your phone if that is your want for the product. If you use it normally, I'm going to say this, it's a waste of money. The entire purpose and function of it is for the novelty of Nintendo. Now, comparing that to my Amazon Alexa, how does it fare? I mean, I have to admit, the Alarmo blows the Alexa out of the water. There's no competition as to which one is better as an alarm clock. Remember, guys, I am not judging these things on their overall design and capability as household devices. I'm gauging them on their ability to be an alarm clock. And in that category, the Alarmo runs circles around Alexa. Look, let's say why, so you don't think I'm too fucking bonkers with this. What is the function of an alarm clock? To wake you up at a specific time of the day or night and get you up and ready for that time. Up and ready. With Alexa as an alarm clock, I have such an ease of access with setting an alarm and turning it off that I feel too comfortable and relaxed in the morning. No matter how many alarms I set, and trust me, I set a lot of alarms, I don't even have to roll over. Hell, I don't even have to move to stop Alexa from waking me up. I say 2 words, literally 2 words, and she stops. You know what I say? Alexa, stop. I can practically mumble it, and she will shut off. She loves that I am cozy and asleep in my bed. Now, the Alarmo demands that you get out of bed. It literally watches you every second of the night until the exact moment it wants you to wake up. And what does it do? It makes you think you are in battle. It plays battle music and makes you fake fight in bed to get up. And you know what the funniest part about it is? It doesn't let you get back into bed for another hour. Look at this. If you get into bed, again, within the hour of you setting the alarm, it will start playing the alarm again. You will have to get back out of bed again. I had it set to Mario Odyssey music, and I sat on the edge of my bed to like put my work shoes on. And you know who showed up? Bowser showed up. You know how I had to defeat him? By getting up out of bed again. And it played celebratory music when I did, so at least it made me feel good. I really enjoyed all the different themes. Not all the different themes. I'm not going to say I like every single theme. If I'm ranking the themes, Breath of the Wild is the top. Number 1, no matter what. All the sounds in that setting are so soothing, even with getting you up and out of bed. They're so celebratory in the sounds of life and what you do in the game, but whether it be the Great Fairy moaning to wake you up. She does. She literally goes, oh. The Mario Odyssey sounds are probably my second favorite. That might be wild considering there's Animal Crossing and everything on here, but after I downloaded some of the extra noises, I really just found the succinctness of all the Super Mario Odyssey noises to be, again, very whimsical and enjoyable in that form, where I feel like I'm waking up to go on a journey to get up and go collect Power Moons. That's awesome. I love a feeling like that. Okay, there are a couple of noises on there that I really just don't think you have to add. What is that called? The fit band? That circular fit band thing? Don't need that. Take that off. I'm not even gonna look up what the name of that is. That's probably one of the lowest ones. The Splatoon sounds, again, I'm not the best guy to ask. I'm not really a big Splatoon fan. But when I'm listening to these noises, I hate them. I hate waking up to these noises. I really don't like them. A low light for me that actually was surprising because I was really ready to try out these sounds and see how they would be were the Pikmin sounds. I hated the Pikmin sounds. That's why, they are the grossest little And maybe they're better in the game when you're playing it around and you have context for what they're picking up and what they're doing and what you're building or whatever. It does not work for the Alarmo. The sounds that it makes, like, can we get a test of one? Listen to these nice sounds that it's going to make as I set these noises, as I set this alarm. Wow, right? How peaceful was that? Like, how, and look, and now Link, depending on how I move, he moves on the screen. Sometimes he's sitting there with a little campfire. It will change the theme of the Alarmo to whatever you are setting the alarm to. So if I go all the way over to the Odyssey music and I set it to something in the Odyssey music, it will play Odyssey noises. Yahoo! Something you gotta know about the Alarmo, a couple of its other features that it has also has an hourly chime, where if you want to, like a grandfather clock or something like that, it will chime every hour. It will count down the number of what time it is, so you know in the house it sets the hour like that, and that's a very enjoyable thing. The theme for the Zelda one is it heals your hearts. The theme for Animal Crossing is a cuckoo clock, and that has a unique little spin on it because it kind of adds that atmosphere to your house. And another feature that I really enjoy that I really wish something like Alexa or something had was it has a sleep time feature where once you get into bed, these sounds will play. It will have soft rain music with a little bit of the piano and the trills, or maybe like a soft campfire next door of the Breath of the Wild sounds. It's soothing, peaceful music to ease you into your bed, and it doesn't start them until you get into the motion sensor at that certain time. So if I usually go to bed at 10 o'clock, maybe at 10, that's when it's set to go off. So when I get in bed, even if it's after 10 o'clock, if I haven't gotten in bed yet, those sounds will play. I'll lay down and it will, for a second, see if I'm laying down and if I'm getting ready for bed. Once it confirms that I'm ready, it'll just play the noises. That is incredible. A peaceful, wonderful way to ease into the night and enjoy my alarm clock. I never thought I would say I would enjoy an alarm clock. I don't even enjoy when Alexa wakes me up. That's why I love how easy it is to shut her up and turn her off. I don't want her waking me up. Am I saying that the Alarmo is better than the Alexa in every way? No, not at all. Am I stating that the Alarmo is a better design for an alarm clock in the literal sense of using an alarm clock to get up in the morning? Yeah, I actually am. Do I think the Alarmo is worth the price point for what it is and the people it is made for, aka Nintendo fans? I think that it's something they could get behind. It is definitely not a need-to-have product in any way. But I would honestly say that it fulfilled my expectations a little more than fully expected. It was a pretty good way to boost my morale in the morning, and a small dopamine boost by having fun little music and celebrations in the morning. And the comparison to other time-telling video game-related devices makes me happy as a consumer and makes it way easier to enjoy the product on a daily basis, even as a part of a collection. Starfield! Don't buy the Alarmo unless you really love it, or if you have the funds. I bought it so you could see what my perspective on it is to be able to understand. But know this, my opinion is my own, but it is my opinion. The Alarmo is a fun little treat, tossed to Nintendo fans who love the ambiance and atmosphere that their games give off. And, I can get behind that. Thanks for watching.